So today we are going to focus on our warriors, warrior 1 and warrior 2, and we tend to have a flow that we use. You know, this pose leads to that pose, and we tend to sort of stick with the same routine. And this will be a good foundation for you if you decide you want to do something else in between. You can always pause the video and add in whatever you like. But first, as usual, we're going to start by sitting quietly and focusing on our breath. Every yoga practice should begin with a few moments of just silence and stillness. So close your eyes if you like. Make some small movements if you like, maybe with your shoulders or your hands, your neck. Sort of find your center and find your breath. As you start to settle into your breath, imagine you're breathing with your whole body, even in and out through your pores in your skin. Your whole body is breathing. And as you feel that sensation of gentle expansion, contraction, you'll start to relax. Let go of your to-do list. Let go of anything outside of the space that you're in. You imagine creating your own sacred space around yourself. You're ready to move. Slowly bring your arms down by your sides. Relax your shoulders. It's a good way to create your sacred space. By inhaling, as you raise your arms up, imagine you're creating a nice sacred dome around yourself. And then exhale, palms together and down to your heart. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale up. And exhale down to your heart. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down to your heart. Now let's bring our hands down to our thighs. Relax our shoulders. Make some small circles with our hands. Nice and slow, nice and easy. Noticing how your neck feels today. Reverse your circles. Just bring your head back to neutral and pause. Let your right ear drop down towards your right shoulder. So don't raise your shoulder up. Keep your shoulders relaxed. As if you could lay your ear down on your shoulder. That'll never happen, hopefully. But we're feeling that stretch in the left sides of our necks. So just let your right ear move towards your right shoulder. And then inhale back up to neutral and exhale left ear towards your left shoulder. And then inhale back up. And then as you exhale, let your chin come down towards your chest, opening up the back of your neck, keeping your shoulders relaxed. And then again, on an inhale, lift your head up, and exhale, tip your head back, feeling the stretch around your throat. And then inhale back to neutral and let your neck rest. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. You might imagine you just started a journey up a mountain. And we're still in the warm-up phase. We're still preparing for our work. All right. Now let's do some spinal rotations. And you can make these big or small, but I recommend moving slowly. Warming up. And then when you're ready, reverse your circles. One more time. Come up to neutral, pause. Round your back into cat pose. Pressing your belly towards your spine. Again, keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. On your next inhale, lift up. And exhale into cow pose, arching your back, pressing your spine towards your belly, and allowing your head to drop back slightly. And we're going to move with our breath in and out of cat-cow. So inhale to neutral, then exhale to cat, rounding your back. Inhale to neutral, exhale to cow, arching your back. Now just move with your breath, inhaling as you switch and exhaling into each pose. Feel your back, your belly, and your sides starting to warm up. Starting to loosen up. And let's do one more of each pose. And then make your way back to neutral. Let your back relax for a breath or two. And now we're going to do a little Qigong movement here called Moving Heaven and Earth. And we're going to end in a side stretch. So make sure you've come forward in your chair. You're sitting up nice and tall. And then rub your hands. Get some heat in your hands, some energy in your hands. Remember, you're still working in that sacred space. You're just moving the air and the energy around yourself inside your sacred space. Turn your left palm so it faces up, right palm faces down. And as you inhale, separate your hands, press up and press down. And then exhale, let your palms pass each other as you switch sides. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Reach and press. Lift and lower. The next time your left arm comes up, leave it up. Bring your right hand down to your thigh and lean to the right. One more breath. And on your next inhale, start to move your hands in opposite directions. Let your hands pass. And then as you exhale, right arm comes up, left arm stays down, left hand on your thigh, and lean to the left. And take a few breaths. One more breath. And one more time, inhale as your arms start to come towards each other, palms come towards each other. And then as you exhale, palms come together and down to your heart and relax. All right. So now we're going to move into our spinal twist. Let's keep our hands at our hearts because we're going to divide our twist up into 3 parts. So let the tips of your thumbs touch your chest and keep your chin lined up with your fingertips. So we're not turning our heads, we're turning from the waist. And the first twist, we're just going to turn to about 30%. So just a teeny tiny little bit. So that you just start to feel your low back and your middle back. And take a few breaths. And on your next inhale, come back to center, keeping your chin lined up with your fingertips. Exhale 30% to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right again, this time about 50%. So you're just starting to open up a little bit more, keeping your chin lined up with your fingertips. This is all about the breath. So once you get into this little twist, find your breath. Every time you inhale, you're expanding your muscles, your bones, your joints. And every time you exhale, you're releasing tension, stiffness, and stress. Let's inhale back to center and exhale to the left, about 50%, halfway. And then take a few breaths. All right, let's inhale back to center. This time, as we move to the right, we're going to release our arms down and come into our full twist. So your legs stay facing forward and you're twisting from the waist to the right side of your chair. One more breath. And bring your hands back to your heart. Line your chin up with your fingertips. And come on back to center. And then slowly move to the left, releasing your arms down, twisting to the left. You can keep your head in neutral if you like, or turn your head gently to the left. One more breath. And one more time, let's bring our hands to our hearts. And as we inhale, we come back to center. Let your hands come down to your thighs and roll your shoulders. And then we're going to do one forward fold. So only one, but we're going to hold it for about 8 breaths, so a little longer than we've been holding our other poses. With your hands on your thighs, hinge at the hips. And your belly down closer to your thighs. And as soon as you feel your low back start to stretch, stay there. Breathe into it. Let's take 2 more breaths. Ready to come up. Press down on your legs. Use your arms to lift yourself up. And catch your breath again. Move around any way you want to, any way you need to. We're going to do all of our leg warm-ups from standing. So take your time standing up and coming around behind your chair. All right. So we'll start with lifting and lowering our heels, hands on the chair, just lift and lower. One heel, then the other. Next time your right heel comes up, hold it up, press into your left heel. You're lengthening the back of your left leg. And then switch sides, right heel down, left heel up. Press into your right heel. And then lift both heels. Coming up onto the balls of your feet. Feeling your calf muscles engage. And then lower both heels. Lean back and lift your toes slightly. You can spread your toes, if you can, spread your toes. It always feels good to spread your toes out. And then release. Give your legs a little shake. All right. So now we're going to move forward and back with our legs. I'm going to demonstrate first, so don't do anything yet. But you want to step back far enough that you can lift your leg up so your thighs parallel to the floor and you don't bump into your chair. Okay? And so that's where we're going to start, lifting the right thigh so it's parallel to the floor. Just pause right there. You can flex your right foot or point your toes, either way, but you want to engage your calf muscles. You want to feel some energy in your lower leg. And then from here, we're going to move into warrior three, pressing behind your back. So again, your foot can be flexed or your toes can be pointed, whatever feels good to you. And now we're going to move with our breath. Inhaling as you come forward, lifting your leg. Exhaling as you press back into warrior three. Inhale, forward. Exhale back. 3 more times. The last time, we're going to hold that warrior three for 3 breaths. And then release, bring your right foot down, give your legs a little shake, and we'll repeat on the other side. Okay. So we'll start by shifting the weight over to the right side and lifting your left thigh so it's parallel to the floor. And then either flex your foot or point your toes. And then press your left leg behind you. Take a couple breaths. And then 5 times. Inhale forward, lift your thigh. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Few more. And then we're going to hold the warrior three. And release. Take your legs out. Cut your hips, cut your thighs, cut your knees, your hamstrings. Okay. All right. So now we're going to move into warrior one. Still facing the backs of our chairs. And then take a step back with your right foot and bend your left knee. So your right foot lands at about a 45-degree angle. Your left foot is facing forward and your left knee is bent. Make sure your left knee is directly over your ankle or behind your ankle. If your knee goes in front of your ankle, you're going to start to put too much pressure on the front of your knee. So build your foundation. Take time building your foundation. And then raise your arms out in front of you. And if that's not comfortable, if you're not feeling too stable today, have your hands on the chair or one hand or both hands on your hips. There are always options and modifications in any yoga pose. So you can always modify. You can always make it work for you. Even if you just stay sitting in that chair, you can still do some work. And once we get into the pose, we just find our breath. Remembering that sacred space. This is a very internal practice. We get to know ourselves through our yoga practice. Now we're going to add a chest opener. So again, if you're not comfortable with your hands off the chair, you can keep your hands on the chair and still open your chest by simply lifting your chest and rolling your shoulder blades together. You can also bring your hands to your hips or behind your back, maybe letting the backs of your hands rest on your low back. One more breath. And then release your arms down by your sides. Bring your hands to your heart and hinge at the hips. You can rest your forearms on the chair if you like, or reach your arms out in front of you for humble warrior. You're using your core muscles for this. Your belly is engaged. Your legs are working, but they're also getting some support from your core, holding your belly in. And then bend your elbows and slowly bring your hands back to your heart as you lift your torso up. And then we're coming into a twist. So turn gently to the left. You can have a hand on the chair if you like, or keep both hands at your heart. More breath. Slowly come back to center. Your hands on the chair. Step forward. Your legs a little shake. And that was 4 poses. So we're going to do the same thing on the left side. All right. So coming back to mountain pose. Mountain pose is sort of like home base. This is where we start. Every standing yoga pose begins at mountain pose. So take a minute and ground yourself here. And then when you're ready, step your left foot back and start to build your warrior 1. Bending your right knee, lifting your torso, starting with your hands on the chair until you feel stable. And then decide if you want to remove your hands from the chair to your hips or out in front of you. And again, your legs are working, but your core is also working. So the more you engage your core muscles, the more stable you're going to be. On your belly. All right, we're going to add that chest opener. And these are the 3 options here. Hands on the chair. rolling your shoulder blades down your back and lifting your chest, the chest opener. Bring your hands to your hips if you like, or lay the backs of your hands on your low back. One more breath. And now wherever your hands landed, bring them back to the chair. They're already there. And then bring your hands to your heart. So we'll balance for a few breaths with our hands at our hearts. And then we'll hinge at the hips. You can have your forearms on the chair or reach your arms out in front of you, parallel to the floor. One more breath. And then you can bring your hands to your chair to lift yourself up, or bring your hands right to your heart. Either way is fine. And then we're going to add that twist. So your hands can be at your heart, or one hand can be on the chair, and we're turning gently to the right. One more breath. And then slowly come back to center with your hands on the chair. Step forward. Your legs a little shake. Okay. That was our Warrior One flow. It was 4 poses. And our Warrior Two flow, I believe, is 4 poses too. Let's see. So we start by facing the chair. So we won't be doing any more Qigong today. I don't think we have time for more Qigong. So we're going to complete this Warrior Two flow and then we'll rest. We start Warrior Two by facing the chair in mountain pose. And this time when we step back, take your right foot, swing it back around behind you, and line up your left heel with your right arch, bending your left knee. And so what happens is your torso turns. You want your torso to turn. You don't want to be facing your chair. Your torso is perpendicular to your chair. Arms come out in a straight line, and you're in Warrior Two. And frequently what happens, if you can see yourself doing this sometimes, notice sometimes our shoulders will come up. We're trying so hard. See if you can relax your shoulders down and put the effort into reaching your arms out. Head can be in neutral, or slowly turn your head to the left. And then our second pose is reverse warrior, turning your left palm up, tilting back. Left arm is up, right arm is down. Your right hand can rest on your hip. Sometimes that makes you feel more stable. Or you can slide your right hand down the back of your right leg. Doing that stretch on your left side. Taking a few breaths. One more breath. And then we come back to Warrior Two. Bend your left elbow and bring your forearm to your chair. Right hand to your hip. This can be your pose right here. If you want to deepen the stretch a little bit, bring your left hand down to your thigh. Rotate your right shoulder back. And then if you like, start to bring your right arm up and out into the air. You can bring it out in this like 30-degree angle, or you can bring it straight up. Just move slowly. Breath. And now bring your right arm down. Roll your chest forward so you're turning towards your chair with your hands on the chair. Rotate onto the ball of your right foot. And now you're in a high lunge. So here's another place where you can keep your hands on the chair. If you're feeling pretty strong and balanced today, you can try to get your hands to your hips. Turn this into a balancing pose. Belly is pulled in. Taking your hands off the chair, bring them back to the chair. We're going to do one more pose here, pyramid pose. Straightening your left knee, pressing back towards your right heel. Feeling the stretch in the backs of both of your legs. This is pyramid pose. One more breath. And then start to rock forward and back, building up a little bit of momentum so that when you're ready, you can step your right foot forward and come back to mountain pose. Take a few breaths. Now we're going to repeat that on the other side. So that was 5 poses. I always turn my chair, move my chair to the other end of my mat just so I don't turn my back to you. You can keep your chair where it is, as long as you can still see your screen. So start in mountain pose again. Take a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, take your left leg behind you. Line up your right heel with your left arch, bending your right knee. So again, building this foundation because we know we're going to be here for a little bit. We want to have a nice, strong foundation. And bring your arms out in a straight line. Relaxing your shoulders. Engaging your core. And finding your breath. One more breath. And then turn your right palm so it faces up. Tilt back into reverse warrior. Keep your body remembers all the options, all the modifications. Maybe you create your own modification. Maybe something else works better for you. One more breath. Then we're coming back to warrior 2. So bringing our arms parallel to the floor again. Bending your right elbow, bringing your forearm to the chair. Left hand to your hip. Rotate your left shoulder back and maybe just stay here for a breath or 2. And then if you want to deepen the pose, bringing your right hand down to your thigh. And left arm out into the air if that feels good. Once you've found the pose that works for you today, just find your breath. One more breath. Then release your left arm, left shoulder down and around, turning toward your chair, bringing your hands to the chair and rotating onto the ball of your left foot. So you're in a high lunge. And again, decide if you want to keep your hands on the chair or see if you can balance here with your hands on your hips. One more breath. And if your hands came off of the chair, make sure to bring your hands back to the chair before you adjust this pose. Pressing your left heel towards the floor, straightening your right leg. And remember, your knees are never locked back. There's always a nice little arch behind your knees. Feel this nice long stretch in pyramid pose. Take a couple more breaths. And then to ease out of this pose, we start to move forward and back, rock forward and back until you're ready to bring your left foot forward back to mountain pose. Let's just pause here, mountain pose. Releasing your arms down by your sides. If you're comfortable doing that, you can also keep your hands on the chair. We really want to feel the strength in our bodies right now. We just used all of our muscle, all of our major muscle groups, all of our major joints. Your body worked. You reached the top of the mountain. And now you can enjoy the view, you can enjoy the feeling of having followed through with that effort. And then when you're ready, inhale as you raise your arms up overhead, and exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. And pause here. And then we're going to make our way back to our chairs for a brief cool down. You can always pause the video and cool down longer if you like. For now, just settle into your chair. Allowing your hands to rest on your thighs. Shoulders are relaxed. Feet are relaxed. And imagine you can soften your face. All the little muscles in your face. Just imagine you can let them soften. Let go of any tension. And just breathe. You're ready. Start to deepen your breath. Again, imagine breathing with your whole body. And start to move around any way you like. Maybe it's your wrists or your fingers or your head or your feet. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Bringing your arms down by your sides. Squeeze your shoulder blades and open your heart one more time. And then inhale, raising your arms up overhead. And exhale down to your heart. And bow forward. Namaste.